Hey, we're here with Chaplain. Please introduce yourself and tell us where you're assigned.
I'm Chaplain Jason English, and I'm currently attached to Ramstein Air Base in Germany. I'm a reserve chaplain there, and I've been there for about 6 years. And I live in the Paris area.
Why did you decide to become a chaplain in the first place?
Well, I felt God's call to be a chaplain. I was doing campus ministry and regular preaching ministry, and I decided to, really check out the chaplain corps and just what life was like, and so I decided to get my feet wet in the shallow end, and I joined the reserves and as an IMA, and just to see that, and then I couldn't get enough. So after 3 years, I joined active duty. But the motivations were to serve God and country. I never done anything patriotic for my country up to that point, as far as I knew. I love to preach, and so I really enjoyed the aspect of chapel services and those kinds of things that were offered through the Air Force. And I just felt God leading me to this. I wanted to see the world as well. That was another motivation. And so been all over the world as a chaplain, both as a reservist and an active duty member in my time.
So, tell me about some of those other places. Where else have you been?
Okay, well, I started off as a reservist for 3 years at Whiteman Air Base in Amnoster, Missouri. Then went active duty, and for 3 years went to Goodfellow Air Force Base in San Angelo, Texas. And then the exotic part of my chaplain career started taking off from there. I went to Aviano Air Base in Italy for 2 years, and I was deployed from there to Al Udeid in Qatar for about 4.5 months there. And after that, after I came home, after 2 years in Italy, I went off to Osan in the Republic of Korea. Then I went over to Davis-Monthan, and that's when I got a call to come and do missions work in Europe. And I gave up the active duty part of my Air Force career and came over to France to live in France, did language school, and enrolled in a doctorate in practical theology, and I've been doing that since. I've been attached to Ramstein, and the last 2 years I've been serving quite a lot in other places besides Ramstein. So I'll tell you about that in just a second.
And how would you describe your normal duties at Ramstein?
Well, as a IMA, I help out in special projects as often as I can. A lot of it's relieving the active duty folks from their responsibilities, giving them a break. For instance, taking the duty phone and doing duty calls and those kinds of things, especially Simon's preaching. I give the Protestant pastors a break, preaching and other things like that. A lot of invocations and leadership as well. So being a leader in the Protestant program, I'm kind of as a major now going into a lieutenant colonel, hopefully, taking more responsibility in leading the Protestants. So we have a wide variety of missions there, of ministries there, of different faith groups as well. So sometimes I coordinate with them.
Mm-hmm. And so you alluded to it earlier. What's unique about some of your opportunities?
Well, the last couple of years, I've been going around the world with my wife, and I'm already in France, and of course, and being attached to Europe, but in Ramstein. But we spent 6 months last year in Italy at Aviano Air Base. Spent a month at the largest field for the Azores in Portugal. and that was a fantastic situation. This past summer, I went to be the wing chaplain for the Air Force ROTC program at Camp Shelby, Mississippi, and that was an amazing ministry, and had about 1,700 college students come through there that I got to know. A lot of different crises I worked, and it was just a wonderful opportunity. Seeing so many people come to Christ. I had 34 cadets come to Christ, and a lot of counseling, about 330 counseling sessions, and some from very intense suicide interventions and trauma with sexual assault and the aftermath and aftercare for that, and as well as just people wanting to know more about the faith. So I had a chance to preach many times, and had about 150 cadets come out. So usually about 150, 160, about half the camp would come out to the Protestant service. So God was really working. Got to see firsthand the fruit of the Lord's work, and it's very satisfying as a chaplain. I love that immediate life change that you get to witness on a daily basis. It's a great ministry.
Great. Well, thanks for your service and to both God and country, and we appreciate you and your family, and pray God's blessing on you as you continue your ministry.
Thank you so much, brother.